The Carolina Hurricanes are going to take on the Florida Panthers, the Big Cats. All right, I won't do the meow. Meow! Just kidding. I love it. I love it. The Big Cats and the Carolina Hurricanes. A real David versus Goliath story. Or is it? We're going to do our series preview right now where we talk about all the players. I'll teach you about some of the systems each of them run. We'll try to show a little bit of chess that they're going to play against each other. And we're going to break down exactly what you can expect from both these teams in this series. People expect Florida to go to the Cup. They expect Florida to be unstoppable. They expect Florida to repeat. And that, frankly, is for two reasons. One, Florida is really good, so people aren't wrong. The eye test is good. And number two, we're all boring. All of us, fans, everybody alike. I'm considering myself in there as well, too. I'm not a contrarian. When we've seen a great team, they usually remain a great team for a window of 2 to 5 years. And that's just the way the 7 and 8 year deals work in the salary cap era. Once you get a hold of great players and you're locked in for those windows, not much changes. So teams that usually lose continue to lose, and teams that usually win continue to win. And we see some play at the top, but that's where we're at right now. We're at the top. We're at the Final Four. So this is the place we would expect to see some play, some movement, and some changes. Even though technically we have 3 of the Final Four from last year here again. Woo! Hockey's so entertaining. But the fans of those 3 Final Four are jacked up for it. I'm jacked up for it. And Carolina was here 2 years ago when they played for it. They lost. They lost to New York. So Canes fans are going to want to know, can we do it this year? Florida fans are going to have a bit of a swagger. Let's get to it right now. If you've been on this channel for some time, welcome back. If you haven't been, welcome. We are sponsored by Hockey Tactics 2025. If you want to learn more about anything I'm discussing today, you can find it in the Ultimate Nerd book. The link is below. But right now, we're talking about the Florida Panthers. And specifically, I'm talking about their defensive zone breakout. And what do you see here? Well, on the square side, you see it overloaded. On the circle side, you see nothing. They overload and use a very simple breakout where they ensure they have puck support at all times. And what is puck support? You always have 2 guys near each other, within a couple stick lengths of each other, strong side and glass out. Glass out is the hallmark of a team that wants to play safe. And this is because Paul Maurice teams love to rip it through the middle. So they just want to get to the neutral zone as quickly as possible and start attacking and slashing through the neutral zone and offensive zone. Now, this is a fine system, except when you are playing a team like the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes have a very unique system. They play a 2-3. So there's your 3, there's your 2. And when you got 3 up high, it allows you to do 2 things. It allows you to jump into the zone for offense, and it allows you to jump backwards to support defensively. It can be a scoring system. It can be a defensive system. Regardless, it is a system that is extremely tricky. Every time I've coached against this system instead of using it, it is a real pain in my backside. It is a very difficult system to get around. No system is ever going to be foolproof by any means, and this isn't that. It's just different because most teams end up in a 1-2-2. But the Hurricanes rarely find themselves there. They use a 2-1-2 when the puck goes deep, and they transition once they get possession or the other team gets possession down to that 2-3 that we ended up seeing there. The other piece that Carolina does is they have this unique back-checking system, or backtracking, if you will, where they put all 3 guys in a line, a 1-1-3. So here's your 1-1, and then, here's your 3 over here. Yeah, I'm using arrows instead of squares. Deal with it. But they are susceptible to a pass across the middle. They become open, and it can become challenging. Now, this will be an interesting system because Florida is going to come up the strong side together, and Carolina is going to overload that strong side. And the chess match that we're going to look at as we go down our clips here is that we're going to look at the difference of what happens when the middle gets gummed up and when a team also plays the strong side. Sometimes, not sometimes, it usually favors the defending team when everybody gums up or bungs up on one side of the ice. So Florida is not going to lengthen and widen the zone on their exit. They're going to try to do high chip glasses. They might be susceptible to turnovers from a team that is so aggressive at getting on loose pucks. The puck hounds, the Carolina Hurricanes, they are so aggressive at turning pucks over and skating hard into pucks. So is Florida, though. Likely the only team in the East as good as Carolina is at this. But Carolina is going to have more than a puncher's chance with the systems they are running to counteract the incredible transition game that the Florida Panthers have. Now, does that mean I think the Florida Panthers are going to lose? Nope. it just gives you the idea of the 4D chess you want to be watching in this series. Sasha Barkov, big time player down the middle. We're all well aware of it. Reinhardt, Verhaeghe, Tkachuk, Bennett, Rodriguez fits in just fine up here. And also, by the way, in the comments, if you don't think these are the right line combinations, it's dailyfaceoff.com. I just go to here so we have a visual to talk about this with. So feel free to let me know what the line combinations actually are. But the Lindell, Marchand, Lusterenian line, this is one we have focused on heavily. This is the X factor in the series. It was the X factor in the last one. It is the best third line in hockey, arguably the Wyatt Johnston line over in Dallas, but I really like this line. And then the defense, nothing to play with here. Forsling and Ekblad, Mikkola and Seth Jones. Schmidt and Kulikov are fine. They're Paul Maurice special is what I call it. He's familiar with both his players from his time in Winnipeg. They're not bad. They're going to put in good minutes. They can do some really good things, but really this defense is driven from those top four, specifically Ekblad and Jones. I like Forsling a lot. It just, those are my guys on here that I would be, all over or picking on or looking to try to play away from. And they're right-handed shots, which makes it difficult. And then finally, it is Bobrovsky in net. He is on the case. If you're Canadian, you understand that joke. If you're not, maybe not. But he is the premier goalie in this matchup.
Oh, what's his name? Poplinski? Bobrovsky! Of course. How could I forget you, old friend? You're the number one cop of the force, Bobrovsky!
The Carolina Hurricanes, though, they're not a team of misfits. They're a team that is put so well together because the sum of the whole is greater than the one. That is how Rod Brind'Amour does this. Paul Maurice may be the best coach in the NHL today, but Rod Brind'Amour is right there. Everybody is good when you're in the top four. There's no argument. When you take a look at Svechnikov, Aho, and Jarvis, fantastic top line. Super underrated in the league. Everybody talks about hyper talent, no superstars. Well, Seth Jarvis is definitely growing into one. Svechnikov has the ability to break a game open, and Aho's two-way play has been well documented for some time. This is a good first line. Is it as good as the first line we see up here? Well, maybe not on trading cards or in fantasy hockey, but in real hockey, these two lines can go toe-to-toe with each other. I would still take the Florida line, but don't sleep on this line. The Roslovic, Stankov, and Taylor Hall line, absolute character line. Hall's going to be your trigger man on that. Roslovic's your two-way guy. Stankov and Puckhound loves to pick him up. And then finally, the third line, the Martinook, Stahl, Carrier line, very good line as well. A lot of hard work there. And then your fourth line, Robinson, Kotkaniemi, and Blake. Their back end, though, is where things really shine. Jaccob Slavin, arguably the best defenseman in the league right now. I mean, I've still got Makar and a couple guys ahead of him, but Canes fans, I get it. I understand. I'm not going to fight you on it. I really like Jaccob Slavin. I've been singing his praises for 5-6 years. He is the best shutdown guy in the league right now, and he plays top minutes. Brent Burns, serviceable. That's the term I like to use for him. He was an offensive phenom, but he's really grown into himself later on in his career. He's changed his game enough. Is he a top pairing defenseman? No. Does he play on the top pair and give you enough of what you need? Yes, I do think so. And then when you look at the back end here, it'll be interesting to see if Chatfield comes back. They say he might be ready. If not, it's Nikishin. Carolina Hurricane fans have commented to me about this guy for a few games now. They're hyped. They should be hyped. When players come into the league, I'll give you a quick background on me being a coach. We look at the players that are already in the league because the jump from any league, I don't care if it's KHL, AHL, junior, whatever it is, and I don't care how much you tear up that league. As a coach, as a fan, of course you do. It's interesting, it's fun. As a scout, you really care. But as a coach, it doesn't matter until they get in or near your lineup because you need to see what they can do at speed. And the jump from every league to the NHL is a chasm so wide it hurts. So it's really hard to tell how talent is until they get into the league. They go to the other leagues to learn systems, season, and develop. But when they get in the league, that's when I start passing and making judgment on it. So I didn't have a lot of opinions on this guy because frankly, the hometown Carolina fans, you probably know a lot more about him than I do. But stay tuned. By the end of this video, I'm going to do a special quick live review for you on this one. So I hear he's a big time guy. People are super excited to have him in the lineup. I'll let you know what I think closer to the end. And then finally, steady Freddie Anderson, good enough to win. That's the way I look at it. He's not like Stuart Skinner is on the Edmonton side, where he can be hotly controversial and he can get hot at the right time and win a Stanley Cup, but he can also fall off the face of the earth. I think Freddie Anderson, even when he's bad, is still serviceable. And when he gets hot, he can win and he can win championships. And all you need from a goalie in a 7-game series is to be good enough for 4 games. That's all you're looking for. So is Bobrovsky the better goalie? Yes. Are the forward group the better forward group on paper? Yes. Is their defensive group better on paper? Yes, the Florida Panthers are. But then you have a few guys like Jaccob Slavin that can tip a series. You have the fact that the Carolina Hurricanes play harder and faster than anybody left in the playoffs offensively and defensively. And how you play without the puck shows the character of a team. And this team plays so well without a puck. Their confidence is so high without a puck. And they are the best team at retrieving pucks. That matters, and that will generate offense. You just got to put it together for the right amount of time in a short-term tournament, and you can win. So the key for Florida is going to be speed, talent, goals, hits, and hits. Goon them, hit them, cross-check them. I say that with love. That's how you win in the playoffs. But the Carolina Hurricanes are like putty. They bend, they do not break. They may not be the biggest team in the tournament. Well, in the playoffs, I always keep calling it a tournament. In the short-term game that is the playoffs, in the one series you are about to play, they don't have to be the biggest, and they don't have to be the toughest in terms of dishing it out. They just have to be able to get in there, take it, use body positioning at the exact right point, and turn pucks over, and that is their MO. Plus, their cardiovascular is through the roof, absolutely through the roof. I know Florida is too, but I'm telling you, Florida fans, they're on a different level in Carolina because that's how Rod Brindamore coaches them. They exhaust me to watch them from a chair. That's how good they are in shape, and no one has ever caught my eye like that and probably won't again. So they are going to be, as I have called it, dogs on bones, puck hounds. They are going to exhaust Florida at all ends of the ice. Florida is going to hit them. But at the end of the day, cardio does matter in a fight, and this is going to be a fight. All right, enough pontificating. Let's look into our next gen editor here. Zone exits. Here you get to see a quick example of it. Puck is at the bottom of your screen. This is one place where they can get caught. They really do trust each other in one-on-one battles, and they don't necessarily always get on the right side of the puck. I'd prefer they be a little bit deeper here. They're not. That's fine. They're lateral. They win the battle. And then they're up the wall with speed. But guess what? They're up the wall with speed all together. 1 forechecker on them, and now you have 3 Panthers. Get my head out of the way. 3 Panthers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one is behind us. So there's all 5. You're 3 up there. And you can see here against Toronto, they're going to have a man wide over here. Well, that isn't going to happen, in my opinion, with Carolina. I'm expecting to see at this moment, I would expect to see at this moment 1, 2, 3 Carolina Hurricanes in the blue boxes, 4 and 5 back like this. You can laugh at what it looks like all you want. It's a 1-1-3. And this is going to do a lot more than what Toronto was able to do at containing this type of 3-man rush that you see here, right? So you have your 5 guys up the wall where you're going to have 5 guys tight. That's going to cause some challenges for Florida, but they'll adjust. They are too good not to adjust, so I'm excited to see what that adjustment is. Florida's also going to complete the time-tested and true high chip off the glass. Paul Maurice is an old school guy. There you go. Puck goes off the glass. It's gone. Now you're in a foot race, and they like to just be out of their zone. They don't want to play in their zone. They want to be on the forecheck. Now, it doesn't always work because if you're unable to get in on pucks, you're going to change. Sure, that's fine. But then you're susceptible for counter punches like you see here from Toronto. And this is why I'm not always a fan of high off the glass. That wasn't just a play used to change. This is a play right out of their playbook. The other piece they're going to have to contend with here is Jaccob Slavin. So we take a look, the puck is moving back, and now all of a sudden you've got 3 guys. And yes, I just said you'd have 1, 2, and there'd be a third one here and 4, 5 over here. But they are on the back check, and you can see them coming back hard. There's going to be plenty of times where your system doesn't work or it breaks. But take a look at the confidence at the best defender in the league. That's the big thing that we want to look at here. Puck right here at this point. They're breaking it up the middle. And Slavin just reads it, takes it away, pokes it away, and all of a sudden they're out of pressure and it causes a turnover. This is why he is the best defensive defenseman in the NHL. They enter the zone, and now all of a sudden they are on to zone possession, zone time, and they are looking to generate shots. This is going to be different for Florida to deal with. They played Tampa Bay that has Victor Hedman and a fantastic defensive core and team there, but they know that team so well, and I just don't believe that team is as fast as everybody thinks they are these days. I do think they're aging out. I ranked them as number 12 in my power rankings and got roasted for it. I'm not taking a victory lap. I'm just saying that I thought they were getting a bit long in the tooth. Carolina is not. They are absolutely not. Slavin is able to play best on best. I think he's going to be a real nightmare for these guys. And I think he's going to play 30, maybe 32 minutes. Maybe he won't, but I think he'll start approaching that line. Now, here's where Carolina is going to be susceptible. This was the chip out of the zone. You know, this is that high off the glass. It goes to the Marchand and the Lundell line here. This is that X factor. And you can see, here you go, 1, 2, 3. And the advantage to having so many guys on the exact same side of the ice, the strong side, is that you have so many options that even if you turn the puck over, there's another Florida Panther there to pick it up. So Brad Marchand comes in, puts a little shot on net, no danger yet. Any rebound that happens, and Freddie is susceptible to rebounds, take a look at how hard they go after pucks. These guys do love loose pucks. I will admit it, the Leafs are nowhere near the puck hounds that Carolina is. But you can see here, Brad Marchand picking the puck off the corner from Lundell here, who worked really hard. They move it up to the point. They move it back down to Brad Marchand, so we've gone low to high, and then Marchand just puts it on net. This is what they are looking for. It is very similar to what you see Carolina do. It's kind of funny because if you had saw a Carolina player put a shot on net like that, I'm told the national media would roast them for putting garbage on the net. Well, Florida does, and they bury it, and I'm sure it was celebrated. So you let me know down below in the comments, Canes fans, Florida fans. This team is absolutely dynamic, and it is an unfair third line advantage that this team has. I expect the Marchand line to do a lot of damage. And Carolina fans, be warned, I love Brad Marchand. I think this guy is one of the best ever to do it. So Marchie's one of my guys. I just love the way he plays. But one thing Carolina is known for is what is known as broken plays. Broken plays mean just putting pucks on net. This isn't a pretty goal by the Leafs. Florida gets in all kinds of disarrays. They move it over to John Tavares, who misses the net, skates around the pack, and just stuffs it in the back. Carolina does that all over the ice. Like, the fact that people think that this is a made-up system is wild. Take a look at this goal here from Svech. Quick shot on net, like I said, from Ovi. Who's on the puck? It's Carolina Hurricanes. Burnsy moves it up the ice, and now all of a sudden we've got a 3-on-2. They bump it down low to Svechnikov, back over to Svechnikov, and before anybody even has an opportunity to set, they put that puck on net, and it's in the back of the net. So the play we saw from the Leafs was a broken play that ends up in a goal, and that actually happened more often than people would like to think in Florida. And the play we just saw in Carolina was a set play where it was just throwing junk on net, but it isn't because it's set. There was nothing missed there. That was the purpose of the play, and they end up putting it in. So it'll be interesting to see what Florida does when they don't have the ability to set and reset. And whatever happened in the regular season is irrelevant. Whatever happened last year is irrelevant. This is a new playoffs. It's a new gear. It's a new light switch. It's a new team. The other piece the Canes are going to bring that is monstrous is the penalty kill. They are phenomenal at killing penalties. So Washington ends up winning the draw. It goes up to the top. Who's on it? Carolina. Aggressive penalty killers. No matter what, they are not containing. Right now, this is called backs and bobbles. We talk about it a lot. You bobble a puck, you see a back, it's in your skates, you send everybody, you send them all. Look at that. 3 turnovers caused by Carolina to get it out of the zone. And they're still on it. They're still hunting pucks. They don't wait. They don't turn around. One guy misses, and the first thing you are going to see here is him angling it out and looking to create a turnover again. I mean, these guys are short. They're down. He causes a turnover. You can call that luck all you want, but we coach players all day here. Watch this puck. Bang, hits the back of his stick. We coach active sticks all day, and Jordan Staal's made a career off of it. Puck's still loose. It's 2 players. Look at him. Going for a change. That's it. It's exhausting, like I told you. We're not getting turnovers. Send them all to the bench. They are still on pucks. Staal is still puck hounding. The Capitals have changed at this point. We are already 20 seconds into the kill. And then finally, they get that puck to the line. They go to dump it in. You have 2 Hurricanes meeting them there. And then who is on the puck? It's Carolina. It's Carolina again. And it's Carolina again. And it's Carolina again. And they take the hit. Take a look here. Who's laying that body check? It is arguably the most dangerous player, boom, in the game. The grade 8, the human freight train that is Ovechkin. I know Bennett, I know Tkachuk, I know Marchand. These are big boys that can hit, but I have it on very good authority. I played and am still friends with a lot of guys that got to play with Aleksander Ovechkin, and they have told me point blank, he is the hardest hitter in the NHL. When he hits you, you feel every bone in your body go limp. And Carolina, no problem. They'll take that hit. They'll pop back up. Puck ends up leaving. Their penalty kill is going to be something to watch. I will be very interested to see if the very deadly and proficient power play from Florida gets through, or if it's Carolina's aggressive tactics that can take home the series. And here it is, off the draw. It's that quick strike power play. They muck, they look for pucks, and when they don't get pucks, doesn't matter because it will come their way right to Sam Bennett. Here off the draw, we're going to cause all kinds of chaos at this point, and that puck is just going to leak out to Bennett. They are so deadly. Look at them hunting that puck. They knew exactly what they were doing. They pull it out of the scrum. It looks like chaos. It's organized chaos to Bennett. Bang, it's in the back of the net. Freakishly deadly, quick strike, power plays, Florida's bread and butter. It may not even give Carolina an opportunity to hound pucks. That's how good they can be. And then finally, back to Lindell Marchand line. Take a look. They enter the zone. It's all that kind of puck support that we were talking about. They move it over to the far side. And take a look at how quickly 3 guys are on the puck. And this is what I mean by puck support from Florida. There's always 2 guys ready to puck support. They're always ready to help each other out. They lose the battle right here, but it is going to be Brad Marchand that picks up that loose puck here from this apex third line. He's just going to put it on net. And he's not putting it to nobody. He's putting it right on the stick of Luosterainen. He ends up putting it past them. I mean, there's just nothing you can do about a team that is going to puck support that way. So Carolina may be dogs in a bone, and they may be the best at turning pucks over. But if there's always going to be a Panther on the other side, it will be for naught. Carolina has to get the loose puck as well, too. And the puck support of the Panthers is going to mean something, and their ability to quick strike like that on you is going to mean something. But respectfully, you can't sleep on Carolina's quick strike ability either. The puck goes into the corner here. Here we go. The puck hounds are on it. They don't cause a turnover. But once again, very similar to Florida, we have puck support on both sides, and this one is all about Stankoven. Pressure on the puck pops out. Everybody is confused because of the high pressure that Carolina has exuded on it. They move it over to Stankoven, bang, in the back of the net. Both these teams play very similarly. I think at the end of the day, this isn't necessarily going to come down to talent. I think this is going to come down to who gets the loose pucks, who forechecks better, and who plays better defense. I think that is what this series is going to come down to. There's going to be so little room out there. It is going to be so physical, and Florida is going to try to impose their will. Carolina won't let them. They'll be hit a lot, but they will get up and they will respond, and they will have more players ready to take their place. Carolina will send wave after wave. Florida has nothing but all-stars on their team, it feels like, deep. So no matter what line you're playing against, it can be a problem. They basically have 3-line ones at this point in time. The Barkov line is clearly the line 1. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with the Bennett or the Lindell line. Those guys are phenomenal. So Florida is going to throw a lot of power at Carolina. They are fast, they are big, and they are aggressive defensively. Paul Maurice teams are known to be aggressive right away. And Paul Maurice is also known to tell his team to throw everybody they can in the first 2 games at every player that moves, so they can drag the big cats, like to drag their prey into deep water and drown them. That is what they're going to be looking to do. So Carolina might even get out to an early lead in this series. The question is, can they take the punishment? Can they take the hits? And can they keep going forward? What makes them different than every other team in this series is the conditioning and the cardiovascular strength they have. It's exhausting to get hit. It's exhausting to give a hit. It's exhausting to turn pucks over. But they have been built for this moment right now. If this isn't Carolina's moment, then it isn't their moment. But you got to beat the champs to be the champ. This is the best opportunity they've ever had at it. In the end, I favor Florida in this series, but I really think this is going to be very close. And if Carolina wins, I don't feel like I have egg on my face at all, because you know what? It's one of those times I'm not happy to be wrong because I like both of these teams a lot. I like both the fan bases a lot. It's just one of those times where I'll just be proud to see a team progress through, a team that was the champion last year, level up to that next level and go take a run at a Stanley Cup. So my head has to tell me it's the Panthers in this one. But overall, if the Hurricanes win this one, no problem. Zero issues with it. It goes both ways. I'm just looking forward to great hockey between these two clubs. All right, Nikishin, what do we see here? All right, we've got a puck coming up here, Adam. Good control. I like what he does with the cross check. All right, so Nikishin fires the puck in here, steps in, big booming shot. I like what I see. Puck's now exiting the zone here. We've got an okay gap right now. Let's see what he does as this puck gets closer. This is always a real play of what a defenseman should be doing. He's backed in a little too far here. That's okay. Good stick on puck. Good transition. Get back in the play a bit here. Sticks with his man. Carolina plays a man-on-man system here. So good battle. Big, strong boy. Okay, good shift. Definitely like sneaking down low. See a couple different plays like this where he likes to come into the hash marks. Not sure if that's a Rod the Bod system there. It's very aggressive. Usually I like to have my far-sided defenseman a little further back. So now because that puck's moved out, we're in a foot race. Not much there for what I'd consider evasive skating. Does well with getting the puck back here. Let's see if I missed it. And this we see with a lot of rookies as they come through. So I don't... Oh, there's the shoulder check. Okay, I thought I missed the shoulder check. So he comes in, shoulder checks. Going to pick up the puck. I'd like to see a little bit more of a pivot from my players, like direct your feet that way and then let's go this way. But he just might not have that trick in the bag. That's okay. Moves the puck up the wall. Smart play. They're out. Okay, don't mind that. All right, so he likes to come down low again. Gets below the hash marks. I like that better on this side. I think this is part of the Carolina system. Don't want to get the copyright infringement. Little cross check, then backs off. So as they come through here, you can see he's playing on this man. I think he's too far deep in the blue line. That's very normal for a rookie. There's zero concern here. Gap's not great. Puck comes in. Good. I like the body. And then here, we're just going to get my head out of the way. He's down here on the bottom of the screen. Watch his footwork here as he's going backwards. So one thing's he's only strong, or at least he prefers to pivot on one foot because the direction he's taking, he's actually fighting it at this point. I actually like my guys to pivot this way and protect the middle a little more as opposed to taking this loop back to the middle. Watch his feet. Chop, 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 chop. I don't love that. It's not going to affect him. This should be a body. Sorry, guys. Might have missed it. This should be a body, like I was just saying. Sorry, the clip screwed up there. There it is. All right, well, I can do it all day. I mean, my quick take on this is, and remember, you guys have watched him way more than I am. And he comes in with a huge amount of praise and fanfare all across the league, not just fans, but the organization as a whole. As a skater, I'm not in love with it. I just don't think he's mechanically that sound, but that's okay. There's a ton of players not mechanically sound that are elite hockey players. Leon Draisaitl, not a mechanically sound skater. One of, if not the best in the world. Physical guy, looks to make the hit. Like that he comes down low and is thinking offense in the offensive zone at all times. Gap control, few shifts I saw there, didn't love it, but I think that's because a rookie isn't trusting himself yet. All this to say, he could be an absolute gamer in the NHL. We'll see how he develops, but it takes a lot of time. That's what I mean by the chasm is very far. I didn't notice anything he did wrong when we were watching that game and I was covering that game. But when I go into it shift by shift, and you can kind of see what we do here as a coach when we look at it, you look at these things and you go, okay, he looks like a rookie. He looks like a guy who's new to the league. I'll be very interested to see what kind of impact he makes with Florida. Skating matters though, and how you skate matters more than anything to me as a defenseman. And I'm not a great mechanical skater. I'm a strong skater, but I'm not mechanically solid. I would skate very similar to him. So pot calling kettle black here at this point. It can get you turned around the wrong way if you pivot the wrong way. So you can't use your skating to recover yourself from a bad play. And that's concerning for anybody. It was concerning for me as a player. It's concerning for any defenseman you'd have as that as a coach. So I think all this to say, there's a lot more tape to look at on this guy. I like all the intangibles that are jumping off the paper, what he did in the previous leagues, there's nothing to say that anybody's wrong for being super excited for him. And he got put into a top 4 position immediately through Brind'Amour, which says everything I think it needs to be said about this. So when you guys asked what I thought about him, there was a quick little thing for you at the end of the video. Carolina fans, I don't know what to think yet. That's really what it is. So let's watch him more. I think there's some cool decision making in there. And I think mechanically, we'll have to see how it works out for the guy. But I'm going to keep an eye on him now for you if he plays.